Well, welcome back to the Great Unexplained Debate. We were just talking about farmers and cows and horses in different fields than where they originally started. And we're just saying that isn't this quite a lot of that sort of phenomena where livestock is affected? It's almost your own perception of where you left your livestock or where you left things. Because we can all, I mean, we've done it on paranormal investigation. I'm sure we've all at some point could have sworn someone was in another room, when in fact they weren't, they were somewhere else. And it's just that, almost that time delay where you think it's only been a couple of seconds, but it's actually been probably 30 seconds where they could have easily moved.
I think there's at least 50% is attributed to the actual incident as an afterthought, such as they think after the experience, or an alleged experience, they start to think, oh, I wonder if that happened and this happened, and they end up with about 50% extra added to it, which is presumed to be associated, when in fact it's a normal explanation.
We've only recently conducted an investigation away from the ufological and into the paranormal, where Steve, another member of the UPIA, a third person was with them, but because they can't access everybody's records of where they were, we still don't know if that was a paranormal event or not. So we've discounted it because of that. Again, it happens in the paranormal, it happens in ufological. And because of the thing with the ufology is, as soon as it's happened, it's the past, it's historic. The paranormal is a strong possibility that you could recreate an event, or you could be there for an event for a second time that would be similar to the first. With ufology, once it's happened, it's happened.
Actually, that is a very good point, and I've not looked at it like that, because usually if you're going into the haunting thing, a haunting quite often is either the same person or a similar thing. The headless horseman rides the same path. The lady walks through the same wall. The Roman soldiers walk under the same building in the same place, because that's where the old Roman road used to be. But with UFO sightings and certainly alien abductions, it doesn't happen on a regular basis because we could catch it.
It's a completely different form of investigation. You're always investigating usually something that's already happened and not likely to happen again during your investigation.
So how do you go out and get evidence for that, though?
Sorry?
How do you go out and get evidence? I mean, it can only be people's word of mouth then, surely.
Well, the best thing that we can gather from a UFO investigation is that of some form of visual evidence, either a photograph or camera phone.
There was times when we used to get information from the Civil Aviation Authority. They've clammed up a little bit more now these days. But
as well as that, we've also got the Ministry of Defence. They do give us some assistance occasionally. They do give us as much information as they possibly can. Civil Aviation Authority do now and again give information, and also the RAF bases are very, very helpful, as well as locally, Jodrell Bank, they'll assist again with information. So getting all that information together to find our cause, if you can answer it from that information, plus obviously the astronomical societies, the aircraft spotting groups, which nobody in the ufology community seems to use, but we found them to be more helpful than most, and also meteorological societies, and we can have our weather conditions, if there's any meteor showers, etc., etc. There's a whole range of information that can be put into a case, but it's actually going ahead and doing that and finding that information in the first place.
Is it difficult? Because I have to admit, when I go past Jodrell Bank, I every time I look at it, I think I'd love to spend a year in there and know what they know, because I'm sure there's stuff that they're picking up that is really unexplained.
Well, the unfortunate thing is what they can pick up is this sort of range, and what they're looking at is that. And that's the same for any radio telescope in the world. They look for specifics, and in that specific, they're looking for some sort of signals. Right. They very rarely, they have a program. Programs can take years, you know. They can have one certain program which is looking at a frequency for 3 years in a given area. It's totally hit or miss if it's going to be a frequency which is something we're going to be receiving in. So that's why we may never ever get anything really truly. There was, of course, the old wow signal, which was thought to be something quite strange. But the more you look into these things, the more you find out there could be rational explanations. It wasn't that long ago, I think it was only a couple of years ago, that I read an article about a very well-known radio telescope in Australia picked up strange signals from space around about 5:30 every evening, and they were tuning in and they were absolutely baffled, and they only realised about a week later it was the microwave oven downstairs for the heating the pies up, apparently. So,
but was it an alien microwave oven? That's the...
While we're on aliens, this is really another debate, but it's connected in a way. What do you think of David Icke when he says there's reptilians here? Because they're meant to be aliens, aren't they?
He was a good goalkeeper.
He should give up his day job.